Assalamualaikum. Hi, Tejaha. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, in my second video, I will talk about one of the tourism product, which is a dark tourism. Okay, do you all know what is the meaning of dark tourism? Okay, dark tourism is also called a tunnel tourism, black tourism, morbid tourism, or grief tourism. Okay, has been defined as a tourism involving travel to a places historically associated with death and tragedy. More recently, it was suggested that the concept should also include reason tourists visit that site. Okay, since the such attribute alone may not make a visitor a dark tourist. The main attraction to dark location is their historical value rather than their association with death and suffering. Okay, Holocaust tourism contains aspects of both dark tourism and heritage tourism. Okay, one example place that I choose for dark tourism is Agnes Keith House at Sandakan, Sabah.
Agnes Keith House is a historic house museum in Sandakan, Sabah, Malaysia. The museum is named after Agnes Newton Keith, an American author known for her three autobiographical accounts of life in British North Borneo. A house is already constructed on hill in the current site of the house as a British colonial government quarters. In 1934, Agnes married Harry Keith, a British official assigned for forest conservation in Sandakan. Harry has provided a house for them and living there together for years. But since it has been destroyed through war, both chose not to rebuild their house in the former location. After the World War II, the new house was rebuilt between 1946 until 1947 on the hill of a desert house and became the first government permanent timber dwelling. The newly rebuilt and more comfortable house on the hill is located on the site of a desert house formerly owned by M.M. Club, where they're renaming the new house as a New Lands. Agnes lived in the house for several years before the house being owned by another few owners. After being left with no further occupants, the Sabah Museum Department together with Federal Department of Museum and Antiquities began to collaborate in 2001 to restore the house, and on 26 April 2004, it was finally opened to public as a museum. Through her years of living in the house, based on her own writings, Agnes is reportedly happy with the home. Although there were some mysterious incidents of note that had happened throughout her stay in the house when Agnes every day saw a tall, unrecognizable female figure apparition. At one event, she saw the apparition with family, saying goodbye to her husband and taking her own baby, George Keith, before returning to the road in front of the house with the body keep moving forward while her head managed to keep straight, looking over behind towards Agnes' position. The same horror experienced early by Agnes also felt by the next house owner following Agnes' return to the United States. A new female owner named Rosemary living in the house from 1955 to 1967. The wife of G.L. Carson, while sleeping alone in the house, awakened by the sound of a room door located at the end of the house being closed several times in early dawn and hearing footsteps that getting louder moving towards her room before shockingly saw an unrecognizable female apparition suddenly appear at the end of her bed with eyes staring at her. when she began to open her own eyes that causing her to be quickly fainted. Another incident involving a housemaid who working in the house from 1967 to 1968 saw a familiar female apparition standing in the house terrace. So, the house has been restored and turned into a heritage house since the restoring work in 2004. The house provides insight to life during the administration of British North Borneo and is furnished with a reproduction of colonial furniture and antiques. A gallery on the first floor tells the story of Agnes, her books, and her family.
Okay, what the potential Agnes Keith House to be introduced and to develop? Okay, the first one is in terms of historical. The historicals of the house, historicals of her, historicals about what happened in a house and everything. Okay, the second one is in terms of the arts. In terms of the arts, it means the mention of the house structure and the carving and so on. And the last one is in terms of heritage. In terms of heritage is like arts, the arts and the culture that the his bring and the history about the house and everything. Okay, the weaknesses and barriers to develop the Agnes Keith House is not main historical Sandakan Sabah. It's not what happened in Sarakan, what mean war or everything. It's not about it's not about that. It's all. Okay. The second one is the geographically. Geographically is not a strategy. It's mean like tourists come to Sabah take time to go to one place to another place, so it's not a strategy. Okay, the second one is because the attractions is people come to the Sabah is because the island attraction in Sabah. So the tourist doesn't think about to go the museum or everything because and another one is it's not unfamiliar to them, so they go to Sabah because the go to the island. Okay, my idea to develop the potential Agnes Keith House is promote by making documentaries such as like I think like right now is TV2 TV1 I'm not remember, but they have a Khazanah Borneo, so we can put museum Agnes Keith House in there and promote and telling the history about the house. And the second one we can take in it and put the museum Agnes Keith House in a package to Sandakans, and also increase the number of tourists offers to historical place like this. So we offer to the tourists about the historical, not only about the attractions like the theme park or everything, but put also about the historical. And the one is to promote more in a tourism website. Put about the historical like the museum like this in a tourism website, not only about the in Sabah like just only put a Kota Kinabalu or the island, but we can put this historical to make a familiar with the tourists. And then put in maps. Put in maps is like when a tourist or people Mr. Menanjung just about the museum in Sabah, and we can see the image or the picture in museum like museum Agnes Keith House in the maps. So there is one can develop the Agnes Keith House to be familiar with the tourists. Suggest any apps or ICT that can be used to help the successful the tourism product is a web-based service. Web-based service is like tourists find information about some place. So we put more information about the museum Agnes Keith House in the web-based service, so tourists can find information easier. And the second one is include in any tourism apps. Any tourism apps is just like a clue, my tours or touradas. Put about the this place in apps, so when tourists want to know about the historical, so they have in these apps. Okay, the last one is a YouTube. Okay, YouTube is one I think is more easier to make accessible, because we make a video. So we make a video, we explain about the historical, we explain about the information about the place, and we put an image or a video, so people is easy to understanding and easy to find, easy to know, and make a very familiar with the people and the tourists. Okay, all that's all from me. Hope you all enjoy and get the information from this video. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share and comment. Thank you.